Hello guys, so in this lecture we'll see how fragmentation is done at network layer. So guys, this topic fragmentation is very important for gate point of view, isn't it? So this one is very important. So before starting fragmentation, some basics are required. So yes, I'm going to explain those basics. Let's say this is transport layer, this is network layer, and this is, let's say, data link layer, isn't it? Let's say at the transport layer, we can say that, let's say, data size is 200 bytes, isn't it? So let's say one packet, that is known as, we can say that, segment. Any packet during transport layer is known as what? Segment. So this segment is of 200 bytes, let's say, isn't it? Now this segment will come to the network layer. So network layer header will be attached. Let's say minimum size of IP header is what? 20, and this is 200. So this is known as what? Datagram. So any packet at network layer is known as what? Datagram. Now here this datagram is of size 220, isn't it? Now this will come to the data link layer, then data link layer will attach its own header, and these 22 bytes, we can say that, will be considered as data or payload, isn't it? Now this is known as what? Frame, isn't it? This is known as what? Frame. Now you know data link layer, yes, we can say that works at LAN environment, isn't it? So inside that particular LAN or any network, yes, some we can say that restriction on the frame size will be there. I already discussed, isn't it? So yes, here let's say data restriction is 220 bytes, isn't it? Then corresponding to every network, one MTU will be there. That is known as maximum transmission unit. Maximum transmission unit, isn't it? Let's say 220 bytes. That means inside that frame the data size cannot exceed 220. If MTU is, let's say, 300 bytes, then the data inside that frame cannot exceed, yes, 300 bytes, and so on, isn't it? So ultimately I want to tell you that what is the meaning of MTU, maximum transmission unit. For every network there will be MTU. So MTU means data size, maximum data size inside the frame that is allowed is known as MTU. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So try to listen me correctly. Let's say this is one network, let's say network 1, and having MTU, let's say, that is 720 bytes. This network is connected via one router to another network, that means another LAN, that is, let's say, network 2, and MTU, let's say, here is 200 bytes, isn't it? So we can say that, yes, what does it means? At the data link layer, yes, the maximum data size allowed is 720, and here data link layer header will be there. So above that we can say that at network layer datagram will be like that, containing IP header of 20 bytes plus 700 of data, that is known as what? Datagram, isn't it? So minimum IP header size is 20 bytes. I already told you in the last lecture. So we are considering that one 20 bytes, isn't it? Now we can say that this datagram, let's say, approaching to this particular router, this datagram containing 20 bytes of header, IP header, and 700 bytes of data. Now this router knows that in the network 2 maximum transmission unit is 200 bytes. That will be also divided into 20 bytes of IP header and 180 bytes of, yes, data. So here maximum size is what? 180. But here, yes, the incoming datagram is having the size 700. So this particular datagram, incoming datagram, must be fragmented by this particular router. Then various fragments will be there, and these fragments will, yes, will be forwarded, and at the receiver end these fragments will be combined again, isn't it? So that is known as what? Fragmentation. So various questions have been asked from this particular topic, that is fragmentation in gate, isn't it? So yes, why fragmentation is required, you know very well, because some MTU restrictions will be there. Because of that, we can say that yes, this particular datagram must be fragmented. So yes, inside this header, one DF bit will be there and more fragment bit will be there, isn't it? You can see the second row of the IP header, their identification number is there. After that, we can say that yes, don't fragment, more fragment, and fragment offset, isn't it? So all these will be, we can say that, helpful here. So what is fragmentation? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Now we'll see how fragments will be done. Okay. So let us take one by one. So that was the router, and here MTU is 200 bytes. That will be divided into, assuming IP header is 20 bytes, so this one will be 180. That is the maximum size allowed. So here incoming datagram is having, yes, 20 bytes of IP header and 700 bytes of data. Now how it will be fragmented, isn't it? How many fragments will be there? So let's say fragment 1, then let's say fragment 2, then let's say fragment 3, and so on. We'll see one by one. So try to listen me correctly, guys. First one, maximum data size allowed is what? 180. So first thing is, we are going to apply some scaling, isn't it? So we will divide this 180 by 8, isn't it? So this 180, this data part must be divisible by 8. Why we are dividing it by 8, we'll see later. But for the time being, you can remember this data part must be divisible by 180. So here fragment 1 can have maximum data of size 180, but you know 180 is not divisible by 8. So we cannot go beyond 180, but we can come, yes, some less than 180 that is divisible by 8. So that is 176. And 20 bytes of header will be attached. In fragment 2, we can say that again 176. In fragment 3, again we can say that 176. And for fragment 4, yes, we can say that total bytes are how many? 700 minus, we can say that 3 times 176. 3 times 176. So this one will be 172. So remaining bytes are 172. So in the last fragment, we can say that all remaining bytes will be there 172. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Isn't it? Okay. Now, yes, try to listen me correctly. This 172 is not divisible by 8. So some padding bits will be there, all zeros plus 4, so that it becomes divisible by 1. So if we divide 176 by 8, so it is going to be 22. So 22 can be written like that, 0 to 21. 0 to 21, including 0 and 21, count value will be 22. Next one will be, we can say that 22 to, yes, 43, count value will be 22. Next one will be 44 to 65. The next one will be 66 to 87, isn't it? Now what will be the offsets? Fragment offset. Fragment offset. So take first value, that is 0. For this fragment, offset will be 22. For this one will be 44. This one will be 66. So sometimes questions will be there. What will be the fragment offset for the third fragment? What will be the fragment offset for the fourth fragment, and so on? So for second fragment, fragment offset is 22. For first one it is 0. For second, third one it is 44. For fourth one is 66. Now try to listen me correctly. Yes, whatever be the incoming datagram, let's say this is having ID equals to 100. Identification number is of 16 bits. You can see in the second row of the IP header. So some ID will be assigned to every datagram, isn't it? Now these fragments are of this particular datagram. So inside these headers, ID number will be what? 100 only, isn't it? If it is 100, so all the fragments of the same datagram will be having same ID. This will be helpful during defragmentation. At destination, these will be combined. So during combination, we can say that all the fragments having same ID number will be combined at one, isn't it? Okay, I hope this one is clear to everyone. One drawback is there. Yes, this 20 bytes of header is included for every fragment. So some overhead will be there, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Now next field is what? That is more fragment bit. More fragment means, yes, after fragment 1, yes, there is another fragment, so MF bit will be 1. After fragment 2, yes, more fragments are there, so MF bit will be 1. Here also MF bit will be 1. For last fragment, MF will be 0, because after that fragment 4, there is no fragment. So MF bit is 1 for all the fragments except the last fragment. And DF fragment, DF don't fragment. DF bit means don't fragment. So if DF bit is 1, then fragmentation, do not fragment. Fragmentation is not allowed. If DF bit is 0, then fragmentation is allowed. So here DF bit will be 0 for all the fragments, isn't it? Because incoming datagram will be having also DF bit equals to 0. That means fragmentation is allowed. So all the fragments will be having DF bit equals to 0. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Now, why this scaling by 8 is used? You can see in the second row of the IP header, fragment offset value is of 13 bit, isn't it? So yes, value should not exceed such that that cannot be represented with the help of 13 bits. So if we use the scaling factor of 8, then we can say that yes, any number will be adjustable. Yes, we can say that with the help of these 13 bits. That's why this scaling option is division by 8 is used, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, so that is the first type of question. They can ask how many fragments will be there. Next one, what will be the fragment offset for all the fragments? Next one, what will be the MF bit for second fragment or fourth fragment, and so on. What will be the DF bit, isn't it? That is the first type of question. Second type of questions will be like that. Let's say this was 2176 first fragment. This is 2176, that is second fragment. This is 2176, that is third fragment. And this is 20 and 172 plus 4. 4 padding bytes are added to make it divisible by 8. So you've seen fragment offset is 0. For this is 22. For this is 44. For this one 66. These are the fragment offset. Now, fragment offset are used, we can say that, to have the sequence of bytes, isn't it? Now we can say that total 700 bytes were there, isn't it? 700 bytes were there. Okay, out of these 700 bytes, one sequence will be there. The sequence numbers will be 0 to 699. That means first byte's sequence number will be 0, second byte sequence number will be 1, third byte sequence number will be 2, and so on, and last byte 700th byte's sequence number will be 699. 0 to 699 count value will be 700. Now first question will be what is the sequence number of first byte of second fragment. So you know this is the first fragment, this is second fragment, this is third fragment, this is fourth fragment. Now you know, yes, 176, the bytes of all first fragment are 176. So these will be sequence number from 0 to 175, isn't it? Now next we can say that the first byte of second fragment will be having sequence number equals to 176, isn't it? So 176 will be the answer, and this is going to be calculated. Yes, multiply the fragment offset by 8, so you are going to get 176, isn't it? So that will be the sequence number of first byte of second fragment. Similarly, next question is, what is the sequence number of last byte of second fragment? So you know 22 into 8, 176 will be the sequence number for the first byte, and you are asking about the last byte. So you know, yes, first byte sequence number is 176. So last byte sequence number will be what? So add 176 plus 175. So 176 plus 175, this is going to be 351, isn't it? So last, remember, because first byte is already assigned a sequence number, that is 176. Now yes, add 175, not 176, because first byte already assigned one sequence number. So remaining 175 bytes will be there, so add plus 175, isn't it? Next question, yes, what will be the sequence number? What will be the sequence number of first byte of third fragment? First byte of third fragment. So for first byte, directly you can use offset and multiply by 8, so it is going to be 352, you can see, isn't it? So first byte of this particular fragment will be at the sequence number 352, isn't it? Now if it is asked that what will be the sequence number of second byte of third fragment, so add plus 1. If it is asked that what will be the sequence number of third byte of third fragment, so add 2. Fourth byte of third fragment, so add 3. Fifth byte of, we can say that third fragment, then add 4. And if it is asked last byte, then add 175. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So these type of questions have been asked, we can say that on the regular basis, you can see, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So for first byte, you can multiply, yes, for the sequence number of first byte, you can multiply the offset value with 8. You will be getting the sequence number of first byte for that particular fragment. Now for last byte, add, yes, total size minus 1. Let's say here 176 are there, so 176 minus 1, 175. I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? So these type of questions will be there in the exam, isn't it? Okay. Sometimes reverse questions will also be there. Let's say these 4 fragments are there. So what was the original size of the datagram? So add all these sizes and take common IP header 20, isn't it? That will be the size of the original data. I hope this one is clear to everyone. In the next 2 lectures, we'll be having more problems based on fragmentation. Okay guys, so thank you so much.